Yes, Suzan Nascimento, Senior Vice President of Application Security. The Veracode SAST product. Honestly, for me, the most valuable is the remediation consulting that they give. So I feel like any vendor can give you the actual identify the flaws, but then fixing the flaws is what's most important. So you can identify. So being able to have those consultation calls and schedule them in the platform and have that discussion with an applications expert, that scales well, and that's what's allowed a lot more reduction in risk to happen. Yeah, it's allowed us to scale and find vulnerabilities much faster than previous manual tools. It's allowed us to educate developers on a much more scale in order to use those consultation calls. Yes, I would say in the early years, it was a little less unstable, but I know that they've switched to more of an agile CI/CD methodology, and so I've seen a lot more stability since they've gone to that methodology. That's one of the best things that they offer is the scalability. You know, companies that I've worked with when we've used the product, the fact that you can do it through the cloud means if you have unintegrated business units, you don't have to worry about having a solution on-prem and having the network connection. You don't have to worry about giving up source code. You're just sending your binary files for most of the applications, so it scales much faster. I would say the technical support is good. I like the fact that you can send a support at veracode.com kind of email. You get very fast response, usually within the same day. Then if you don't have an SPM, a solution program manager, to escalate issues after that, you don't have to escalate a lot of issues, but if you do and if you don't have that feature, that's where they seem to fall down a little bit. So they need help with more of like their level 2, level 3 support. They do very well in level 1. And then you need to escalate sometimes for that. So that's where they need to improve a little bit there. I would say it's straightforward in the sense that there's lots of APIs in order to integrate, and they have a lot of connectors that do that for you. I'd like to see more technical support for some of the connectors. Some more detailed diagrams or runbooks on how to install some of the stuff, more hand-holding in the sense of understanding our environment. They cover a lot of languages already, and it doesn't make sense for them to cover legacy languages, but I know there's a need for covering legacy languages. But I'd say my biggest need in the support, in the kind of feature I'd want, is more on the technical support side. At a previous company, we were using HP Fortify. We couldn't scale because it was an on-prem solution. Therefore, after I think 5 years, we decided to kind of break out of the mold, use a SaaS solution. We were comfortable at the time doing it because we weren't sending source code for the most part. But as soon as we went to a cloud solution, we scaled dramatically. For me, I look for more of a 70% technical match. So for the features and the benefits we need. And then 30%, I look at the culture of the company. Because for me, it's a relationship. So I want to have a partnership, and I want this to feel like a win-win. If they're feeling like it's a short-term decision, get in, get out, I want to know that I can be able to talk to them at any time and add service enhancements, feature enhancements, those kinds of things. So it's a 70-30 split for me on that. That would be probably HP Fortify, Checkmarx, IBM AppScan. It really was between HP Fortify most of the time and Veracode. I typically like Veracode because it is a SaaS solution. You have other providers now that do the same SaaS, but then it goes back to the relationship and the partnership, and I feel that I have that with Veracode. I would give it a 9 because it scales incredibly well. They have very qualified people that work there that are able to clearly articulate what the problems are when they're talking in a remediation or consultation call. They're very knowledgeable. They're not condescending when they talk to a developer. The tool is very easy to consume. It's not like looking at a menu with 20 pages at a restaurant. It's very simple to digest. They have lots of API connectors. They cover lots of languages, and it just scales. You can't beat that. And then the relationship is great with them.